Thank you, Chairman. And Chairman, I do want to thank you for your indulgence with respect to the clock for all the witnesses. Like the Chairman, I'm not a big fan of the 5 minutes. And sometimes you need just a little bit more time to expound, so I thank the Chairman for that. Also, Chairman, I do want to recognize the Mayor of Fort Myers Beach, who's in the room with us today, Mr. Dan Allers. He is here. Dan, it is good to see you. And thank you for your job in Fort Myers Beach, really taking a major leadership role there in having to rebuild a town. So I appreciate you there. Chairman, for the record, I want to introduce into the record an article by CNN. Dated February 15th, 2023, titled "FEMA Delays Leave Many Hurricane Ian Victims Exasperated Nearly 5 Months After the Disastrous Storm."
Objection to being entered into the record.
Mr. Chairman, the reason why I want to enter that article into the record is because that article is indicative of the testimony of Mr. Goss, where there are several accounts from local residents who went through the process with FEMA to try to get into the housing program and were either met with the delays of, yeah, we can outline your lot and here's where the trailer will be, or you're not in a specific flood, you're in this flood zone isn't allowed under our rules, so we're gonna have to put you into a hotel. And then the hotel allotments were 100 miles away, 200 miles away, 300 miles away, which really led to a level of just frustration by local residents. Mr. Goss, real quick, a question to you. Having gone through this process personally, I want you to expand a little bit more on your thought process around putting essentially decision makers on the ground who can effectively make these decisions. And I know you have experience with the federal government and working in tandem with it. What would your primary recommendation be around it? How would you conceptualize that so that you can have people make the decisions that need to happen right there when it needs to occur?
All right, Mr. Chairman, am I recognized?
Recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Donalds, that's a great question, and I've thought about it a little bit. I think that there's two ways. One is you would put a decision maker on the ground, whether that's an SES level or an assistant secretary level, somebody pretty high up, take them out of the comfortable area of inside the Beltway and put them here, so that when somebody like me comes and says, look, my neighbor has not, he's living in his garage. You cannot tell me that living in that garage is safer than putting a trailer in his lot. There's just no way. The guy's 94 years old. He hasn't had a shower in 4 months. That's not safe. So somebody needs to be here to say, you're absolutely right. We're going to put a trailer here tomorrow. Then there needs to be someone on the back end of that who, and I could think of this for SBA, who's looking at the metrics and saying, okay, I've had 5,000 people apply, and we've only issued 4 loans. Or something to just keep things moving. Who's making sure that stuff's moving along? Because I don't get the feeling anyone's doing that.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Mr. Hammond, to you, you mentioned in your testimony frustration around the inspection process with FEMA. It's actually interesting that Mr. Allers is sitting over your shoulder as I look at him. I know that the city of Fort Myers Beach is still operating in a trailer while they're waiting for a FEMA inspection to occur for them to actually go through the process of rehabbing the city of Fort Myers actual building so they can continue their business. Can you speak to the delays and the concerns from the county level in conjunction with FEMA around the inspection process, and what is it specifically that the county that Lee County is looking to see with respect to the inspection process?
Thank you very much for the question, Congressman. Yes, that's a perfect example of what we're seeing at the county level as well. Our administrative team at the county doesn't have the confidence to fix or repair anything right now and related to county facilities or county infrastructure because until it gets an inspection by FEMA, they're risking the reimbursement that could come for making those repairs. And this, with a $300 million bill coming due to Lee County, is more than our residents could bear on their own. And so we need that FEMA reimbursement. So Many residents call us daily, why haven't you torn down the restrooms at Fort Myers Beach at Lynn Hall Park that look terrible? We're told we are not even allowed to touch them. If we touch them, if we try to clean them, we are risking reimbursement and would not be paid back for the repairs that we would need to make for that. Similar situations happened with Federal Highway Safety Administration in regards to our traffic lights. We have many traffic lights that are still mangled throughout the county, and those we were also told cannot touch them until they've been inspected. And so residents don't understand why broken infrastructure and potentially dangerous situations continue to exist months after the storm.
Thank you so much. Chairman, I yield back.